Now we will discuss about JavaScript events. What is JavaScript event and what is the use of it? We will see now. JavaScript events. In JavaScript, events are nothing but we have on-click event. For example, on-click event is a message sent by sender to its subscriber to notify the change. It is used to change or send a message from our HTML page to our JavaScript to notify the change. For example, I have a form. This is my form. Inside my form page, I use some input. Type is equal to button. On click is equal to some function. And we are calling that function from our event. What is happening here we will see now. Here, whenever we are using on-click function in my browser, this is my HTML page. And I'm having some form with some values. And I have submit button. Whenever user clicks on the submit button, then our on-click event will be raised. In my on-click event, I have written a function to change or to send values dynamically to my HTML page in my browser. This is the reason we use JavaScript events in our web page. Events are nothing but it is a message sent by sender to its subscriber to notify the change. For example, I am having username and password. This username password I want to submit to my HTML page. Whenever I click submit in my browser, then by using this input type button, on-click event will be raised. After raising this on-click event, my function will be executed which is having in my JavaScript code. And it will store whatever the values we are sending from our browser, username and password, it will store by using JavaScript. It will send to my server-side programming. This is how JavaScript events will work in our JavaScript. First, we will make a note about this. Event is a message sent by sender to its subscriber to notify the change. It uses a software communication pattern called observer. This observer, we will discuss about this observer in our frameworks like Angular, and we have React, which is user interface. In that we will discuss about this observer because we have observer in that. We use observer in that frameworks. We will discuss about that. What is event handler? An event handler uses delegate mechanism, which is a function pointer. The event defined for HTML element will look for specified function and notify the change. An event handler uses a delegate mechanism, which is a function pointer, because our event handler is going to call our functions. This is what it is describing, and the event defined for HTML element will look for specified function and notify them. Whenever we use onClick event in our HTML element like input tag, it will look for a specified function, like whatever we are writing specified function in our on, it will look for a specified function, then it will notify the change. Whenever we are defining event in our HTML element like input tag, it will look for a specified function which we are writing here and notify the change with use of this function whatever we are writing in our JavaScript. I will write example here. Input type this onClick event is a event handler. Next we will see how to work with event arguments and object properties. Event arguments and object properties. Every event handler of JavaScript provides access to the object properties by using a keyword called this. This is a keyword which provides access to object properties in our event handler. We will see an example how to work with this. And the event arguments by using the keyword event we can access the arguments. First we will make a note about this. Every event handler of JavaScript provides access to the object properties by using the keyword this and the event arguments by using the keyword event. We will see how to work with event argument object properties with example. Just go to Visual Studio Code, create a new file, d10.html, doc type HTML, head section and body section. Inside this head section we have script. Inside the script I will write a function submit click. For this function I will use object properties and event arguments, like I will use obj comma e. Then I will write document dot write button name obj dot name button value obj dot value next click date x plus e dot client x. Just save it. In our body section I will use input tag with type button value I will give as submit name btn submit. Here I will use our event on click event. Then I will use my function which I have written in script submit click function. Here I will use this comma event because I am using obj comma e to work with object properties and event. I am using this comma event in my submit click function. Whenever I click on the submit click function, because this event handler is having function with object properties and arguments like this comma event, because of that whenever this submit click function is called, inside I am printing obj.name. Obj is nothing but a this is nothing but our button which is having submit. Obj.name it will print btn submit, and I am printing obj.value, it prints my value of my button submit. This is how we can work with then we are defining e.clientX. It will show us undefined because it is clicked on X or not. We are printing that. It will show the value as undefined. We will execute this, just save it, go to browser, execute our program, d10.html. Just click on submit. It is showing button name b10 submit, button value submit. Clicked on X, it is showing undefined. This is how we can work with JavaScript events.